Pack your bag and grab your cloak. The morning air is bright. The road may bend a different way, but that's part of the delight. We'll wander where the rivers run through forests old and green. There's always one more path to find and wonder see. Take your time, don't rush the road. The journey's half the fun. We'll laugh about the wrong turns made before the day is done.
No, ma'am.
Come walk with me through dungeons deep, where every trail's a story. We'll pack the snacks, embrace the laughs, not chase a bit of glory. The map may fail, the road may twist, but we'll keep wandering on, no matter where the trail may lead. Our next adventure has begun. Come walk with me through dungeons deep, where every trail's a story. We'll pack the snacks, embrace the laughs, not chase a bit of glory. The map may fail, the road may twist, but we'll keep wandering on, no matter where the trail may lead. Our next adventure has begun.
Good evening, adventure party and questies. Zane is blurry again. Yeah, alright, so we just gotta pretend like we know what Zane's doing over there. Alright, so, anyways, fire is warm, the mugs are full, actually, mine's a little empty now, and opinions are probably gonna start a brawl tonight. Tonight, the tavern doors are open, and tonight we are putting a prince on trial for our very first ever episode of Tales from the Dungeon Tavern. So, I am Stacy. Zane? Introduce yourself. That's Zane. So, we are going to start, like I told Zane, this one's going to be a little awkward because we're still trying to get the hang of how we're going to do the layout and things like that. I really wish his screen would refresh. Oh my god. Let me see if I can refresh it. It's pissing me off. Like, come on. Hold on, there we go. Let's try that. Hold on. No, that did not help at all. Oh, Jesus Christ. It started, okay, we know it worked before, so just quickly do it while we do this. Shut it down and come back. Quick. And I'll set up the rest of the, the segments here. Alright, while he is trying to refresh his screen, being stupid, we wanted to welcome everybody to the show. This is, we are not going to be a video game, or a game in general, podcast like that. We're going to be our own thing. We're not going to do like news. We're not going to do all that kind of stuff. We're going to touch on it a little bit, but that's not going to be our main focus. We want to, just, me and Zane always have great debates, and great, concepts and conversations when it comes to video gaming. So we wanted to share that with the world. We think you guys would enjoy listening to our banter. And tonight, and one of the biggest debates that me and him have is Arthas from World of Warcraft, and we each have our own opinion about him, and it can get pretty heated between the two of us sometimes. So we are gonna discuss that with you guys and see what you guys think. We'd like to get some input from you guys and all that stuff too. So I just realized that we are in the red as far as like the bandwidth goes. It's been up and down all night, so that's probably what the problem is. That's probably why he keeps losing graphic compatibility over there. Okay, so like I said, we are just basically gonna be sitting here at the tavern table, and we will be drinking our mugs. Zane, show your mug. He's got his little chalice there. It's fucking awesome. And we're gonna start with hold on, let's open up this up here. And we are going to start with the campfire check-in. Campfire check-in is gonna be we are going to ask, I'm gonna ask a couple questions and then we're gonna go from there. What games have you been playing lately, Zane? Oh, Mike wants to play that with us. He wants to do that with us. So that'd be cool to have somebody who actually knows how to play it when we do decide to play it together. That's gonna be fun. Yeah, he's been wanting to play that. He's been watching a lot of the episodes, a lot of videos and stuff like that on that. Sir, you do not have to yell. I need you to lower your voice. You're way up here. I need you to be like, thank you. You're super loud. No, you're just loud, like loud. Like normal. You're normally loud, so like you're loud like always. So, so you said so what made you pick that up? Your friend said that you wanted to one of your That's cool. That's cool. Well, we'll have to get you to do a review on it later. Any other older games? You said that you've been playing Fortnite. I know that's kind of an older game. Have you played any other older games lately? Yeah, I was gonna say it's not really older. Mhm. 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 It is. I remember that being really awesome. Oh no, hold on. Oh no, what is happening? Oh no, my screens have hold on, my screens have dropped. Let's try that. Hold on. Yep, like I said, I know this first episode is gonna be a little wonky as far as like things go. It kind of sucks a little bit, but oh, I can close that now. Okay. You're blurry again. Oh, that's gonna piss me off. All right. So, anyways, all right. So, I have been playing. Let's see. I always forget the name of it. It's Survival Fountain of Youth, And that is actually it's a kind of like an arc type game where you gotta gather supplies and go and you have missions and things like that to do, which is what I love. In arc, you don't really have missions. You just have like you just go gather stuff, and you don't have like quests or nothing like that. This one you have quests, and you have a goal, but you don't really have like it doesn't actually give you quests, like that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't actually give you I don't know, like objectives, like you have an ultimate objective in Arc, but this one you have like you have to go to the other side of the island, and to get there you have to have these things that you got to build these things to get to there, and you got to have certain you gotta have certain tools, you have to have certain weapons and things like that. So that's really cool, right? Okay, so while I'm doing this, you refresh real quick because we're in the green real quick. So you refresh real quick while I'm talking about video games. Okay? And then that's the last time I'll ask you to do it. That's the last time I'll ask you to do it. If you do go blurry after that, we'll just pretend like we can see you. Okay, so anyways, Fountain of Youth, Survival Fountain of Youth. But it's based on Ponce de Leon's voyage over here, looking for the Fountain of Youth, obviously. Perfect, Zane, thank you. And so, you're I haven't gotten off the island yet, but, excuse me, it's, I've gotten off the main island, I'm onto the little second island there. And, I just now figured out that you can view, you can do, I'm not sure how to say that. It's like you can reveal parts of the map if you go up high enough in these trees. You can do like these map things. You're blurry again. I'm just gonna leave it anyway. So Fountain of Youth. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just forget it. So that's a good game. I think it's like I love the gathering aspect of it. It's like I said, it's Minecraft and Ark as far as like gathering, building, and leveling up your skills and your abilities to make things. But it also has quests and stuff too, so it's pretty cool. I tried to play Baldur's Gate for my Throwback Thursday, and it has stressed me out. I don't know how I played that game for so long back in the day. I don't know how I spent hours playing that game because it has literally stressed me out. Like I can't. I am giving that you don't know how we did it. So yeah, this Diablo was one of my favorites back in the day. Diablo, Baldur's Gate, all those games like that. Starcraft is on my list of things to talk about later. Starcraft, all those games like that were all amazing games for me, and I loved them. But looking back at them now, I'm like, why? How? What the hell was wrong with me? I don't get it. It different mindset, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so game news. I was at Mike's house this weekend, and he was going through the list of stuff that comes with your Game Pass, and he's seen that you can buy GTA 6 now. When is the actual release date for that? Oh, it is this year. I thought it was February. Is February Fable? Mm-hmm. Nice. That's cool. Okay. Move your mic away from your thing. Maybe that'll help. Wait, because you were right up on it. Okay. In other news that's not considered gaming news, though, that I've seen, um, uh, Bruce Campbell says he's no longer going to play Ash Williams. And I am not happy about this. I have, uh, Yep. No. This is not so groovy. I am very upset about this. I seen this in the news. I don't know. It will never be the same without him, and I'm very sad. I know my questies will remember the story that I have told about almost naming the twins Bruce and Campbell. For yep, William would have been Bruce, obviously. Sandra would have been Campbell, obviously. Um, but yeah, that was a sad moment for me as well. I read that earlier today, and I was like, this is I don't like it all. Also, I have actually had long discussions about this. No, that was you. I would name you D'Artagnan. Kel for Kelthalos. Kel for Kelthalos or Killian. Yeah, I decided against that one. That seems like a bad idea, but yeah, it was Killian for Killian Jones, obviously Captain Hook, and then Kel for Kelthalos. So that was whatever. It was Killian. Killian was what I was going with. I know you have to go. Nala has to go outside, Bubba. I know. We're busy, Nada. We're busy. Okay, so and one more thing for news. It's not game related. It is news. It is movie related. But Sebastian Stan is going to play. Have you heard this one? Do you know who Sebastian Stan is? Bucky. Bucky. Yes. Is going to play Harvey Dent in Batman 2 with Robert Pattinson. Yep. Yeah, I think he's gonna make a great Harvey Dent, to be honest with you. With what was it? Thomas Jane played the original Harvey Dent. I think was it Thomas Jane? The guy who plays Punisher. Not in the TV show, in the movie. Thomas Jane. No, that was the TV show. Okay, well, I'm not talking about Shane. I'm talking about the other movie with yeah, that was Thomas Jane. Okay. All right. Now, moving on. Hold on, I need to make sure it's not the next segment. Hold on. I have all my little segments going on here. Hold on. The next segment is. Oh, I didn't. It should have been this one. Wrong one. All right. So I have notes here. First of all, random news, random facts that nobody knows. There are a handful of games that took 7 years to produce. Do you know what they are? These are the longest besides GTA, because it hasn't actually been released yet. So as of the moment, it has been. It has. So 70. What, baby?
I mean, look at this. I have got a really good fight.
Ooh, how cute.
Mommy, this one is like 50-50 chance to get. Well, look at that one. Look at all of them. You got me a little. got more than just that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a trash one. The one I started off. I got a fishy.
That's cute.
And then look, here's my last one.
This yellow one. That's cute. Oh, he's a peely. That's cute. So, Mike was telling me that he's seen that it's going to be open world type situation like Second Life, where you can actually do, like you can actually buy things in game with currency, sell things in game with actual, dollar money currency and stuff like that. It's an oasis. That's cool. That's really cool. I might actually play it then. Only for that aspect of it then. Only if I could do like the Second Life type aspect of it. Where I do the that'd be cool. No, I mean I get all that. That's all game stuff. I'm talking about like how in Second Life where I build stuff, I make stuff, and then I sell it for like Second Life money, and but I can exchange that for real life money. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's what Mike was saying. Yeah, it'd be neat. Okay, so besides not Second Life. Besides GTA 6, games that took 7 years to produce, right? We have StarCraft 2. It didn't take 7 years to make. That remastered doesn't count. We're talking like for release date, from time it was announced that it was going to start to be made to actual release date. So I only have dates for StarCraft. It took 2003 to 2010. Then we have Hollow Knight, Starfield, LA Noire, and Final Fantasy 15. All took 7 years to produce. Yeah, I remember them announcing it way back when, and then it just kind of fizzled out, and I guess it quietly developed in the end is what happened. So it's crazy. Right. Yeah. Okay, so we have Tavern Trivia now. You guys ready for this? I'm going to ask Zane some questions, and we'll see how well he knows his video games. Which, the first one we talked about earlier, and he surprised me with his answer, and I was a little disappointed. Alright, so, question 1, and I'll give you guys a chance to, I know we don't have a whole lot of people in chat right now, but you guys can answer too. Alright, which legendary video game enemy was created completely by accident? We have the Goomba, the Creeper, Diablo, or the Slime from Dragon Quest. Okay, it is true. Everybody knows that. Like I said, we started off with an easy one. But your answer earlier was, tell me what your answer you said earlier was. It is actually listed as #1 best-selling game right now. Our most-selling game. When I was looking up facts earlier, that is the #1 most-selling game right now. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't shoot right now. I can't shoot. I got a regular pistol. No, I'm gonna try this. You don't need to tell me? I'm not even. I understand, and I'm not to be close.
Nope. And that's where you're wrong. Okay, so Notch accidentally swapped the pig model's height and width when he was experimenting with other code for something, and instead of deleting it and fixing it, he just left it in and then added the creeper capabilities to it because he said it was creepy. Hence the creeper. Yeah, so it was just, so the pig was supposed to be this tall, 100 pixels tall by 200 pixels wide, and instead he did, 500 pixels tall by, 200 pixels wide or something, and that's what he ended up with was the creeper. But like I said, right, you were close, you were super close, but yeah, yeah. So speaking on that, do you think that if Notch had decided to fix it and take that away, do you think that Minecraft would have been the same without creepers?
No.
I don't think so. Even Kate said no. Mhm. Mhm.
Because you actually need creepers to make good stuff. Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, where the creeper is the epitome of the game. Yeah. Mhm. That happened to me a couple of times when I was playing with Cade a couple weeks ago. We were doing hardcore island worlds, and I had things set up and everything, and then along comes a fucking creeper up behind me, and I didn't hear it until it started to fizzle, and I didn't run fast enough, and boom, and I.
Oh yes, I got me a goodie chest. Are you kidding me? Now we have to right out the window. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
The island one?
Do you know any other happy accidents in games? Any other like Easter eggs like that, where that was supposed to be something and then it ended up being something else and they kept it in the game? I knew you were gonna say Skyrim.
I mean, you trying to heal. That ain't gonna work for you. And I'm coming in. I'm coming right in hot mode.
Jump in its hole.
Hot mode. Ah. I saw somebody coming over here.
Yeah. Interesting. So it's the creeper. That's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. All right. Trivia question number 2. The sound of the original Pac-Man eating pellets. Do you know what that sound is? You know? Okay. Was made by someone eating potato chips. True or false? It is false. The iconic sound was electronically generated rather than being a recording of someone eating food. People have, that is actually a myth that has gone around for a very long time, that it was that's what it sounds like, because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like somebody eating chips, munching on some chips. Yeah. All right. Tavern trivia question number 3. Which came first? Which MMORPG was launched first? All right, you ready? EverQuest, World of Warcraft, RuneScape, or Guild Wars? No, it was EverQuest. Can you guess what year? Hold on, pause. You know what year World of Warcraft was released, right? 2004. So you know EverQuest had to have been before that. So what year do you think it is? 1999. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So it's older than World of Warcraft. I didn't mean to refresh you, just that one's weird. Alright, so the developers of Diablo originally wanted the game to be turn-based. True or false? Turn-based is like the Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is turn-based. That is true. Early in development, Diablo was conceived as a turn-based RPG before Blizzard North shifted to real-time combat that helped define the action RPG genre. Like I said, Baldur's Gate is turn-based. Regular tabletop D&D is turn-based. You do your action, then I do my action. You do your action, then I do my action. Not at the same time. Not simultaneously. Okay. Guess the game. Which RPG was originally planned to have a significantly fewer companions before the developers expanded the roster because they realized players loved party dynamics? Tell me what game that was. And which RPG? There's not any options. Nope, just the answer. It is Baldur's Gate 3. Evolved throughout development, with companion depth becoming a much larger focus than originally envisioned. I cannot imagine any Baldur's Gate without the party dynamic. I couldn't do it. It's got to have the... It's got to. You would. I was just thinking the other day when I was playing with playing the Throwback Thursday. The first little girl that you get that comes along with you is like, I wouldn't be able to get through some of this stuff without her. Like there's just no way. And she's a rogue, by the way, in case anybody wants to play something different. You can be a rogue. She's the rogue. Let her do the quest stuff. All right, so. Do you have anything to add to that? Anything? Trivia? Anytime trivia? No?
I'm out of here. Taking a dip.
Alright. Alright, so. Now, this is going to be the first part. It's like a mini debate, okay? Now, what makes a game great? Is it story versus... Yeah, like, is it story versus gameplay? Is it exploration versus fast travel? Is it the best soundtrack? Is it, memorable characters? Storyline? There's actually that's funny you say that, because the other day I was, I like to read, my memories on Facebook, right? And one of my memories on Facebook was I need a new game to play that was kind of like Vampire the Masquerade, which was the shittiest graphics on the planet. But the storyline to me was a great game. It was a great, a great roleplay game, And I said I wanted a game like that. It doesn't have to have great graphics as long as the story is great. You could be 8-bit characters and I would be happy as long as the story is cool, And you could be little pills on the screen, little little oval things on the screen, and it'd be like, I love this. This is great. The story is fucking awesome. So I would love to play games that have a good storyline. It doesn't have to have great graphics or anything like that. The story has to have the best thing ever. And as far as like and again, this is stuff that I was talking to Mike about over the weekend. We were talking. He had this song. He'd been working on a couple of music soundtracks a couple of days, last week. And one of the songs that he created reminded me of the Fat Man from The Seventh Guest. The Seventh Guest was was a game me and Dad played when I was a kid, and it had the best ever, and I will defend that until the day I die. The best soundtrack ever. Remind me to listen to it later with you. So I think you would like it. It's creepy. It's eerie. It's fucking awesome, and you will remember it for the rest of your days. And that one in the Mist soundtrack was good too, and it was just there was no sound, there was no words to it, just sounds. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Now I'm about to slap you in the eyeball.
I thought you were gonna say Kingdom for Catholics.
What? What, mommy? What's this shit? What's that? What again? The what? Hallelujah day? What?
Yeah, it is. It's creepy. It's a mindfuck game.
Ain't no money. Oh, my stomach.
It was. Limbo was a side scroller, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing too. I could handle like the story versus gameplay. I could handle shitty gameplay, which is side scrollers and shit like that. If the story is good, so it has to have a good story. A good story will compensate for everything else, I think.
Mommy, do you know my other account on my phone, my Williams account?
I told you I don't know.
How do you know that? Then why did you make that account? Where's my phone at?
They haven't brought it.
Well, they should bring it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That does sound cool. I don't guess I remember that in the game. Yeah, I don't guess I remember that. Okay, besides the one that we're going to talk about tonight, what is the most memorable character? Yeah, in a video game. Yep, yep. That's the best line ever. I think that's the best line ever. That's from Fable, in case anybody didn't know. That's when Walter tells you, yeah, and he, yeah. Well, it's said a couple of times in the game, but that particular one where Walter says that to you is the best. Is the spoilers? That's the best one. It is 100,000% the most heart wrenching. But like I said, that's all you gotta say. Like I said, we're not gonna get into it. Just we could go into that one later. That one's gonna be I'm gonna make a note too. Most memorable quotes in a game. In a game. We will add that to episode 2. Okay. Now, have you ever had a popular game that you couldn't get into? I'll go first. Star Wars: The Old Republic. I have no. Let me tell you, everybody and their mothers told me to play this game. I'm like, I until recently, and I say over the last maybe 10 years or so, was I could give or take Star Wars. I was like, I just don't care. I know you guys like it, you and William, you guys liked it, so I have learned to like it for you guys, so I could have conversations with you guys. I know Nathan, when we were together, he was a big thing. We watched 1 through. He was obsessed with Star Wars, and when he first moved here, we spent the very first night that he was here. Like, we left Joy's house because we were at Joy's house. We left Joy's house. We came back to my mom and dad's house where I was staying, and the very first night that we spent together, we spent all night watching the first 3 episodes, or what is it, 5, 4, 5, and 6, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so it's whatever the old ones from the from the 70s were, and that was so we spent, yeah, all those old ones, and so I was like, yeah, I could give or take. I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like, it's like Hocus Pocus for me. It's like I really could give 2 shits about this movie. I'm gonna watch it because everybody else said they liked it, and I want to know what everybody's talking about. But at the same time, it's like, do I have to watch it again? Like, is this really something? Whatever. So Star Wars: The Old Republic was a game back. Like I said, this was back when me and Nathan were still together. I have not tried it since then. So this is at least 14 years ago, at least 15 years ago. I absolutely. Okay. What are you doing? I absolutely could not deal with the. I just couldn't. The game pissed me off. I would have rather played Star Trek, and I love Star Trek. And the Star Trek Online is probably the shittiest online game I've ever played. But it's which really makes me sad. I am very sad. Star Trek Online is not a popular game, so that does not count. But Star Wars: The Old Republic is, and and everybody loves it, and I'm like, it literally makes me want to just, like, I can't do it. I absolutely just cannot. I cannot get into that one at all. Period. End of discussion on that one. So, what about you, Zane? Famous game, popular games that you can't get into. What? I don't even know what Warframe is. And it's popular? Well, that was the thing. That's the thing is a popular game that you can't get into. What about now? Yeah, is there a popular game that you can't get into now? Yes. Yes. Yeah, me either. Yeah, that's another one. No, you don't have to explain. you, you do too much. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I get you on that one. I'm gonna go with you on that one. I can't do League of Legends either. Alright, so last question and then we're gonna take a intermission before we go into the heavy debate and start throwing hands. Uh what game changed your life? And I will go on this one. Um I just randomly create. Oh, that must have been Cade. Must have been playing something. All right. So, what game changed my life? There's a couple. I'm gonna go with Zelda. Um, Zelda for this. No, it was the original Zelda game for the Super Nintendo. And the reason why was because me and my dad we fought a lot when I was a kid, and when my parents got me the Super Nintendo for Christmas one year, I was junior. It was junior high. I was in junior high when that happened. Um, my dad came in to wake me up for school one morning, and I guess the game was playing or something. I don't remember how he ended up playing it, but he ended up um I don't remember how he ended up playing it, but he ended up like picking up the controller and was moving around. He was supposed to be waking me up for school, and I guess it was raining and he could. It was the start of the game. I hadn't even moved out of the little thing, the little HUD that you start with, and Dad picked up the thing and he started moving around and he got out of the little house and he was walking around killing grass and shit. And I woke up listening to him playing the game and I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh, you're supposed to be getting up for school." And I was like, "You have to do something, something, something." I was telling him you had to go somewhere and do something. You gotta talk to this guy first and that kind of stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I couldn't figure out what to do here." And then it just kind of escalated from there. And without going into a lot of details and emotions, me and Dad would spend nights and nights and nights. Like I remember that day, I didn't go to school. Me and him ended up playing all day, and yeah, it was yeah, and so we would end up, and like he was good at like exploring and figuring out the puzzles and figuring out what to do and where to go get things, and I was good with boss fights and I was good with the fighting aspect of it, and so and that game escalated to Halo, but and then in the gameplay things like that we played together, and then that escalated to Tomb Raider together on a PC and stuff like that. So it was so. But what I'm saying is that Zelda was a turning point for me and my dad's relationship. When we still fought a lot, but when we were playing video games together, father daughter, and it was a nice moment. It was nice nice times. And then piggybacking off of that one, it was Minecraft. Minecraft was a way for us, me and you and the kids, to stay connected in a time in my life that was very disconnected from reality, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so it was a way for us to stay together and stay like I said, grounded. We were together. We did things together. We were together, and we played together. We were together as a family whenever we played Minecraft. Not gonna get into it. I'm gonna cry. But so those two videos, those two games were very life changing for me. I don't know if you have anything like that, but those were the two for me. Because the same reason. Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Mm-mm. When out James played GTA, I was like, "Do what? Say what? This is the guy who wouldn't let you play World of Warcraft because there was violence in it. This is the guy which always shocked me because his games were always violent too. You know, like he did Half-Life and shit like that. Those were always you know, yeah, yeah, like he was Borderlands. Yeah, James is on the credits for Zane's dad. James is on the credits for Borderlands, Duke Nukem 2, and then a handful of other games that nobody's ever heard of. All right. Okay. So we will take an intermission here. We'll be right back. And when we come back, like I said, we are going to put a prince on trial. We're going to talk about. We're going to throw hands, and I'm gonna get Zane to refresh his screen. Okay. All right. So we will be right back. I'm gonna put us on mute here for a second. Alright, we are back and we are letting Zane refresh. We've been good for streaming for a little bit, so I figured it'd be a good time to refresh. We'll let him refresh a little bit here and we'll go from there. I want to thank you all for joining us on our very first episode here, and hopefully this gets going pretty good and we can do some pretty cool things with this in the future. We have a couple episodes lined up to start with, so we should have no problems gaining this. He's still blurry. I don't know what's happening over there. There you go. Woo! You're good. Alright, so while Zane is with us in heart and pixel here. Okay, so this is a debate that has been between me and Zane for years and years and years and years. And I'll let him defend himself to start with, but Arthas Menethil. The debate is whether or not he was a good guy gone bad, or was he always a bad guy, or was he just a misguided, heartbroken soul? Okay, like that's the debate. Okay, so Zane is blurry again. we just gotta pretend like we know what the blob is over on the right side there. All right. He's a blur. He's a blur. Just pretend like you're drunk at the tavern. You can't see him. That's why. That's what's happening. You're just drinking with us, okay? All right, Zane. What's your debate here? What's your what's your take on Arthas? Just try it. The end. All right, so I think that Arthas was okay, and this is where our debate starts. Is I think that Arthas Menethil, was a great leader. He was destined to be a great leader, and I feel like had he had his girlfriend and his mentor come with him to the outskirts of Stratham, and he told them, "This town is doomed. This town is infected. Everybody in this town is about to turn into the scourge, and we need to eradicate in the military today, in real life, in the military, your you have to take into consideration the needs of the many outweighing the needs of the few. Okay, and I say that because in my mind, Arthas's idea of let's kill this handful of people, this city, let's kill these people that are already doomed, let's kill them and stop the scourge from leaving these gates. And he went to his girlfriend and he went to his mentor and he asked them for help. He was in a vulnerable state at that point. He was in a very vulnerable state of mind, and nobody wants to make that decision. Nobody wants, especially not a leader. Nobody wants to be like, hey, let's kill all these people just because. That's not a good mindset for people. So he goes to his girlfriend, who he expected to be by his side and expected to be his strength in this very sad time. And this very tough time, and she was like, "You monster, how dare you?" And now he's fucking heartbroken, and his mentor is like, "I can't believe you would even think of this. This is absolutely insane." When really, if like you said so too, if you just think about it, if Uther had gotten all of the paladins at that time together and went in there and consecrated, because if you play the video game, if you play World of Warcraft at all, you know that a paladin consecrate. If you're a holy paladin, it will you lay down consecrate. It heals your people. So had they done that to start with, like let's talk about that. If they had done that to start with, then killing the people in Strat would have never been necessary. Uther instead is like, oh no, hold on, nuh-uh. And then Uther, instead of saying, hey, let's go in and let's try to heal these people, his process was, oh no, we can't do that, and he fucking turns his back on Arthas. So now Arthas is left to deal with what he feels like is necessary. By the time he gets into Strat, all the people are starting to turn, and now he has to kill them. So so now the thought that he could have killed them before and or healed them and stopped it. Now he's got to kill all these people, and either way he has to kill these people. So now he kills all these people, trying to save the scourge from getting out of the town. And now he's heartbroken. He's betrayed by his mentor. He's betrayed by his girlfriend, and that puts you in a state of mind that's already messed up. So now now his vulnerability was broken, and now he's in a heartbroken state now too. And when you're in that kind of state, then you're likely to do things that are not logical, and that's where so and that is where so in his head he's still trying to make things right. He's still trying to do what's best for his people. And KT and whatever the other guy's name is that I can't think of right now. They got together, and with them two together in his ear, they're like, "Oh, we can make this better for you. We can do this for you." And in his head, he's thinking, "Oh, I'm still trying to save my people. I'm still trying to save my people." And these guys are putting these thoughts into his head, thinking that they're gonna, manipulate him into telling him, yeah, we got this. You got this. Just do this for us, and we got you. And so he's still trying to save his people. He's still trying to save his people. Now, us being on the outside looking in, we know that obviously was not the right choice. But at that time, at the time that he did those things, I can see where his mind was. I can see that and I think it takes a broken person to be able to understand him in that aspect. You, Zane, being never broken like that, don't understand the things that your brain thinks of when you're in that kind of state. And I think that that's where I understand him more than you do, because I understand the heartache and trying to make things right and doing whatever you want, whatever you think is right to get what you think is right done, if that makes sense. So I think that Arthas was a good guy. I think that he was a great leader, and I think that he was, um, had he had the backup that he needed at that vulnerable time where he went to Uther and Jaina, I feel like had he had the backup that he needed then, that um, his vulnerability would have been okay, and that and had he had the backup that he needed to start with, the backup that he asked for, I feel like he would have killed all those people in Strat, but I think that would have stopped the Scourge from happening, and he would have saved more lives. Because ultimately, the Scourge getting loose out of Strat because of not being able to eradicate it, all the people that died afterwards are on Uther and Jaina. I really feel like that. I feel like those people are to blame for everybody else. Every single death that happened after Strat, their death is on Jaina and Uther. And I feel like, and I will go to my grave on that one, because I feel like they could have helped stop the Scourge from happening right then and there. And instead they were like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing this. And they turned their back on him instead of trying to help him. And that's where I think that everything that happened after that moment was a result of um, um, heartbreak. And I feel like heartbreak is not necessarily excusable, but it's understandable. And I feel like I feel like had Arthas been able to stop the Scourge from happening at that exact moment, that yes, he would have killed all those people in Strat, but he would have went on to become the best leader that Lordaeron ever knew, and the best leader that Azeroth ever knew. And that's taking into account like Varian and all of them. He would have been the best there ever was. And that's I feel like he would have built the best kingdom. I feel like they would have um, never had to go to war a couple of times after that. I feel like a lot of that would have been eliminated, and instead, everything that happened after that is on Jaina and Uther. And like I said, you'll never get me to believe otherwise. So that's that, and that's and the debate between me and Zane is that Zane swears up and down that Arthas should have never thought to kill people. He should have never thought to kill anybody in Strat. Like that should have been never the thought that happened. And like you don't understand that like I said, sometimes you have to kill a few people to save a lot of people. And that sucks. It really does. Mhm. 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 Bubble swallower. As a priest. As a priest, not a paladin. let's don't get it twisted. That's only been a recent thought process on your aspect, because I have finally drilled it into you the reason why it was a good idea. You, up until recently, have debated this tooth and nail with me about how this should have never been a thought process on him. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that, like I said, I was about to say that's been a recent development, because before you didn't believe that. So the Helm of Domination was able to dominate him because of the fact that he was heartbroken, because he was in a vulnerable state to start with, and he was reaching for ways to get his people safe. He was grasping at straws, and the Helm of Domination gave him promises of this, and gave him promises of saying, yes, we could get your people safe, we could get this, we could get that, when in reality that obviously was not the case. But in his head, it gave him very much false promises. But in his head, he's thinking, oh, this is the way to do this. This is the way to get what I need. This is the way to get my people safe. And because this is what they're telling him is going to happen. Not understanding that that's not what's happening, Arthas. That's not what's happening at all. Yeah. And his brain that was damaged, his brain that was not, you know, his brain. Yeah. And yeah, in retrospect, some of that stuff that he did afterwards, after he actually became full blown Lich King, yeah, I get, okay, yeah, I will say, but see, at that point, I feel like he is no longer Arthas at that point. He's the Lich King, and that is the thing. And I will go again to my grave on this one. I feel like, I feel like, in possession. If you are possessed, and let's just assume that being because that's my argument. And let's just assume that possession is for real. Okay, whether you believe it or not, for this sake of argument, it's real. Okay, we're talking about fantasy games anyway, so in this world, possession is real. Um, so if you're possessed and you do things while you're possessed that you normally wouldn't do while you're not possessed, while you're a normal you, then when you become unpossessed, should you be punished for the things that you did while you were possessed? Okay, again, like I said, let's take into consideration the small fact that possession is for real, and that you are literally not yourself when you're doing that you are your body is you, but your mind and your actions are something else. Something else is controlling you. Okay, so let's assume that all that's true. Okay, all that is accurate and can actually happen. In that aspect, when you become unpossessed, you should not be held accountable for the things that you did while you were possessed. I feel like you should. That's a whole different you. That's a whole different person. That's a whole different entity. Okay, and that's what I feel like is with Arthas. I feel like Arthas himself, when after Strat and after that situation, and he was starting to be controlled by the Helm of Domination and Frostmourne, I feel like at that point he's no longer Arthas. He's the beginning of the Lich King. He might not have been full blown the Lich King yet, but I feel like he was in that process. He was in the making of that, and from that moment on, he should not be held accountable for what he did. And I'm gonna go with also too, just to kind of follow up on that one. In Shadowlands, when he when he actually gets broken free of the Helm of Domination completely, he gets broken free of it, and he's being held by his father in the afterlife, and he says, "All I see is darkness." I feel like at that point that's Arthas again. And from that point to from that point, between that point and the time that he walked away from Jaina and Uther that day, I feel like any time in between there was not Arthas. I think anything after that is... So Arthas was a good guy who was brokenhearted and had the people that he thought he could trust and turn to the most betray him. And that's that. And Zane, what do you have to add to that? So do you at least agree that my side is accurate, that is a good, legit... Yeah. But did he? Because in the end, the scourge still got loose. Yeah, I get that, but okay, that brings up a good point. So, had Arthas been able to eradicate the scourge from happening, right, from getting loose out of Strat, right, had he been able to stop it right then and there, I don't think that Ner'zhul would have had the... I don't think he would have had the backup. I don't think he would have had the power. His power wouldn't have been as strong because Arthas would have been able to fight it at that point. He would have been able to fight that, and then he would have been able to fight Ner'zhul, and he would have been able to fight all of that to start with. He wouldn't have been vulnerable to the point where they could be in his ear, telling him, yeah, this is what's happening, and then force that path. He would have been able to go down a different path where he was strong enough to fight them. So I feel like ultimately, standing on that hill outside of Strat, had he been given the backup that he needed, this would have went a whole different way. The Lich King would have never happened. The Scourge would have stopped. Maybe there would have been a fight. Maybe there would have been another little bit, a battle here and there. But I don't feel like it would have been the big armies that it was. I don't feel like Ice Crown would have become a big thing like it was. I feel like all of that would have happened differently. And I feel like that would have been a whole different situation. So, here we go. Next battle up is gonna be Sylvanas. So, get your debate on that one up. All right. So yeah. So that's our take on Arthas. I think he was a good guy that was heartbroken. Zane thinks he was a good guy who turned bad, and I just don't feel like that's. I don't feel like that's true. I don't feel like that's good. What were you gonna say? Sorry. Oh, I can think of a few things. I think I can think of a couple things. Oh, trust me, I got this. No, she was Alliance at that time. She was Alliance. She was a high elf. As far as like his army goes, yeah. Okay. All right. So here we go. Last call. We are going to recommend. What game do you recommend that people play this week? Yes. I agree. Halo is definitely a good throwback. I'm gonna go with survival. Fountain of Youth. I'm gonna go with that one because that's like I said, it's a good survival game. I think it's cool. I think it's good. I like it. Yes. Mm. Yeah. Is that an MMO? Is it single player? Is what I'm saying. Okay. Mhm. Cool deal. Cool deal. And that's a single player game. So is survival. Survival is a single player game too. So you don't play with other people. All right. I have actually started reading the Poe prophecies. I don't remember what they're called. I don't know what the actual the book is, but it's a good. It's a recommended book. It's cute like Harry Potter. So it's probably not for adults, but I'm enjoying it. So it's a good bedtime read, I think. Also, my soundtrack for that is which I know you have to actually be watching chat for that. It doesn't show up in the video. It is Lord of the Rings based. It's all my little video, my songs that I made for all my characters. Some of them are super cool. Potato Rain is obviously the. It is very cool, very cool. It's got the Valhalla sound to it, so that's pretty neat, I think. And it's all songs that are supposed to make you want to get out and go fight. So it's I worked really hard on these, and I think that they're really cool. There's I think 11 or 12 songs, and let me listen to them. Let me know what your favorite is. Also, shout out to Mike. Mike has been doing one of his cards was on eBay for $10,000. Yeah, I think it. I think it dropped to 3,000, but just the fact that and I guess I know a lot of people don't understand that concept, but if you get something, if you get a card, if you're a collector of anything, like let's say you're a Pokemon collector card, right? A card collector, and you get a card and you're like, I've never heard of this card before. Let me look it up and see if it's any good. And you Google it and you get an eBay listing of $10,000 from other people, you automatically know that anything else of that category is going to be great. You know that that's going to be awesome, and that's the concept that we want Mike's cards to get. So if you get one of his cards, I'm talking Star Trek sketch cards is what they are. He does have MLB cards coming out, and he has MLB cards coming out, and he has soccer cards coming out for one of the teams. I can't remember which one it is. But basically, if you get any of his sketch cards, but Star Wars in specific, if you get any of his and you Google his name and you see what his cards sell for on eBay, they are thousands. He has had a few that have sold for 1,000. I think 1,200. I think was the highest one so far. So they do get up there. They do get up pretty high, and so his cards are worth a lot of money. He just has to get out there. So people trying to sell his stuff for 10,000 is a little far-fetched, but at the same time, they know that they got something good. So that's good. So I'm going to give him a shout out. So people go look for his stuff on eBay and try to get his cards. Upcoming movies are you looking forward to, Zane? Anything? Any particular movies? Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. 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 That's cool. That sounds fun. Nostalgia for you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like how we are with Bloomhouse. It's like we know it's going to be shitty acting, but it's going to have the chance of having Lin Shay. It's going to have the chance of having Lin Shay in it with a surprise visit from Kane Hodder and maybe a voiceover from Robert Englund. So it's a possibility that we get any of those and great stories. I think I will watch it. I did see that at Mike's house. I was like, oh my god. And again, Bloomhouse and Lin Shay. Can't go wrong. I seen that, which is really funny because I was talking about it at Mike's house, which is why I brought it up over here, was that they're making a Practical Magic 2, and I am fucking ecstatic. I cannot be more excited. I know everybody was always excited about Hocus Pocus, which I do not see the hype in whatsoever, but if Practical Magic has got to be the best magic movie there ever was in existence. It is awesome, and the story is great, and real cute concept was her writing the list of her perfect man, and then her perfect man showing up, and he checks all the boxes off, and it's just amazing. It's a long time ago when I was in my temporary insanity days, I wrote a list out, and I still have it, and I can still prove it, that the list was written in like fucking 2015, 2016, something like that, of what I just, and it didn't even have to be a perfect man. It was just what I want in a guy, and it was all these things in a relationship that I thought was fantasy because I had been through such bullshit, and it was things that I didn't ever think were real. And looking back on it, it's like I don't know why I ever settled for anything less, because it was like, this is things that should have been natural anyways. Should have been natural anyways. And then along comes Mike, fucking 10 years later, and he checks them all off without even knowing that he was on a list. And it reminds me a lot about that. And like I said, he literally marks all the boxes off, just like in that movie. She had all these outlandish things, like, that she never thought was going to be in existence, that this is, in her head, was all fantasy. It's like, okay, well, I'll create the perfect man that doesn't exist then, and then I'll never be heartbroken, and because I'll never expect anything. I'll never expect this. And that was what her thought process was as a child. That was what that was. And she ended up making this list, and then when she needed a guy the most, here he comes, and he's all the boxes. So anyway, it's besides that, besides my personal stupidity there, that's it's actually a great movie. It's a great story. It's Nicole Kidman's best movie. I feel like she's not a great actress to me. She's one of those that I can give or take. Sandra Bullock is hot and can be in a fucking commercial, and I'd be like, but she could be in a Mentos commercial, and I would just be, she's so nice. But Nicole Kidman, not a great actress, I don't think, but that's a great movie for her. And Sandra Bullock obviously rocks that story, I feel. Stalker. Okay, you could have kept that part out. He's for his bulk. So, anyways, Practical Magic 2 is coming out on September 11th, which is right after my birthday, and I'm super excited. Mm-hmm. We will be streaming that. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll make it part of the podcast. Oh, the access to it, yeah. $27. There was something else I was gonna say. I don't remember. There was something else I was gonna say and I forgot. So I know we don't have a whole lot of people watching, but if you do happen to see this on replay later, we will end every episode with a question that we want to hear from you guys, and then we will go over answers in the next episode. So this one, so we're gonna start anyways, and then if we'll continue with it, and if you guys don't answer, then we'll just keep going or whatever. We're gonna get viewers eventually one day. The question is, did convenience ruin MMORPGs? And by convenience, I'm talking like, let's use World of Warcraft as an example. When vanilla first came out, finding a group, you actually took some effort. You had to do a request in LFG, and you actually had to walk to the dungeon. You had to be summoned to the dungeon. There was a whole concept to it, and now it's easy. You just do the looking for group thing and the dungeon finder, and you can find that. Or, for instance, the allowing people to have mounts at level 10 or 20 or whatever it is now, and not really needing to do the quest to get your class mount. You just are given it now. And or doing the, like, I'm talking about the warlocks and the paladins. Those used to be long quest lines to get those. And now I don't even know if like warriors and stuff like that have them, but I know that paladins and warlocks do. Are you talking about Legion class mounts though? I'm talking vanilla class mounts. I'm talking like the charger for the paladin and the dreadsteed for the warlock. Yeah, I know, but you're just given them now. You don't have to do the quest line to get them. There used to be a quest line to get them, and it was a hard quest line. And because I remember helping Nathan with his when he was doing his warlock and stuff, and it was hard. And now you don't have to do that. Now it's not a quest line. Anyway, convenience. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Lord of the Rings offers fast travel, with the mithril points and stuff, which I'm not going to debate on. I love that, and that's awesome. But I'm talking about convenience, is what I'm saying. Convenience that was not in the game to start with, that is in the game now, because of, players whining, basically. Did it ruin the game? Is what I'm asking. Did things like that ruin gameplay? Hold your thought process, bruh. We're gonna talk about answers. That's what we're gonna talk about next week. It's gonna be one of our topics for next week. So, if Zane doesn't have anything else? All right. Well, until next time, guys. Take the scenic route. Always read the quest text, and remember, every adventurer has a story. Peace out, guys. That was really loud and unnecessary.